Hey friends, it's time. Hold tight, we're gonna get you set up. It's time to go do some hive inspections. See you in a second. All right guys, I moved over to the new bench. Christina's gonna wrap up the last couple hives on the other bench. I'm gonna start with our green hive. This is the other half of the split we did a couple weeks ago. They are queen right. This is where we moved her. She lost most of her flyers, so that would have set her back. She does not have a quote-unquote honey super on her yet, but we're going to dive in and see how they're looking. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 solid frames of bees up in this third box. I do have some frames of foundation in here, so we'll see. So they drew this side out. Looks like they're putting some nectar in there. Haven't done anything with that one yet. This is pretty heavy. Lots of eggs in the center. So looks like our queen was here recently laying. Girls are very calm, full of eggs. All right, I'm not going to poke with them too much more. Let's just go ahead and tip this bottom box up, tip this box here, make sure we don't see anything that concerns us in the form of swarm cells, and keep on moving. So I see absolutely nothing that concerns me here with this green hive. She's building, they're drawing comb for her. She's clearly up in here, has recently been up in here to lay. Starting to draw this out. I'm gonna go ahead and make the call to drop on a super this week. Might be a little early, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and put one on them. All right guys, I'm back. So we just did green. I went in and checked on my California queen and her little nuke. Kind of a long story to that, but she wasn't working out in the hive that we tried to requeen her with. So we put her in her own little nuke. Thought they were going to replace her based on a cell that I saw them forming. Turns out they have not replaced her. Her brood pattern looks amazing. She's in her little nuke. She's laying away. I saw her. I saw eggs. I saw larvae. I saw cat brood. She has space. She has a little contingent of bees, but she does have some cat brood. So we're going to let her keep rolling. And I'm excited that we have a backup queen here if something goes haywire. So we're going to keep moving. I'm going to do these girls yellow. If you've been watching our videos, you'll know that yellow hive is new to the apiary a few weeks ago. Purchased it as an overwinter colony from my mentor. And so far this year, they have looked amazing. We're going to have fingers crossed here that that continues. And that they are not packing their bags up to swarm, and that they are doing something in their honey super. So here we go. I have no bees in the super. Yeah. Tiny bit of nectar, nothing really. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah. Nothing, guys. Nothing, nothing. If there's any local to us, local to the Northern Virginia area beekeepers that happen to watch these videos, I'd love for you to drop in a comment on how your supers are looking this year. Are you guys getting nectar up in your supers yet? We are not, for the most part. Again, I think weather is a big factor here, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, not much for nectar going into supers yet. Let's just tip and check. There's good weight to this box for sure. All right, so I'm checking for cells on this one. I saw some from the bottom, but look at that brood pattern. Same story on the other side. Gorgeous. But these girls are prolific cup makers. They have been ever since I first inspected them when I got them. So far they have been dry, but I do not want to lose these girls. I am going to work my way through a few of these frames because I did see some just cups on the bottom. Nothing drawn out too far. All right, friends, yellow hive looks good. Don't see much in the way of swarm cells. These girls are definitely prolific cup builders, but don't see anything concerning yet. And they're not doing anything in their super yet either. So give them another week. That said, our white hive next to them, looks like we probably should have put a super on last week, did not, and they are full and we have queen cells. So gonna pause here, figure out our course of action, and I'll pick up in a little bit. Hey friends, well, that's a wrap for this week's bee work. If there's any local beekeepers to the Northern Virginia kind of region, love to hear in the comments how your honey supers have been looking this year. I gotta say, across the board, we're still pretty empty. They definitely have nectar coming in, you know, in the brood nest, but very little is making its way up into the honey supers at this point. And it says April 30th. Everybody looked good. We checked everybody for swarm cells. Only one hive came up with them, and that was the white hive there at the end that we decided to do a cut down split on. They definitely had cells that may be reproductive. It also may have been the decision we made last week to not throw an extra super on them, or actually would have been their first super. We thought that they had enough left to draw and fill, and that hive just went great over the week, and they're full, and there was queen cells. So no harm, no foul. We caught it enough time. We did a cut down split. So we moved the queen, all of the eggs and open brood to a new box. Put a second box on top of her with space. And we moved her to the original hive bench. And then in the her original location, we left all of the closed brood, 1 frame of eggs, and then we stacked them deep, 2 supers on top of them. So they'll have all the flyers. The bees won't have, you know, any eggs or young larvae for the most part to take care of. So the thought is that hopefully they'll get booming on bringing in the nectar. So that is the technique we used on the original green hive from a few weeks ago that we did cut on split with. That did not pan out for us. It's in terms of socking away the nectar, because the flow, where is the flow? The flow is not here. Not on any kind of a booming scale yet. I can say that for my bees in this yard. It's just not there. And I mentioned a little while ago, I went back in my notes from last year, and I looked at, so today is April 30th. I looked at, we had, I think, an April 25th, somewhere around there inspection last year, and then we had a May 2nd inspection. On that April 25th of last year inspection, give or take a day or so, we had supers on previous to that inspection. And on that inspection, we noted that they had done a bunch of drawing and had put up quite a bit of nectar. And we were adding second boxes on that inspection. When we got to the May 2nd inspection, which is only 2 days from now, last year, they had filled 1.5 to almost 2 supers and were starting to cap. We are nowhere near that point this year. I mean, nowhere near. I have supers that have been on for 2+ weeks now. Bees haven't touched it, haven't touched them. And these are strong hives. These are hives that are overwintered. They have not been split. They are their full force. The queens are laying fine, plenty of brood, plenty of bees. Only thing I can say is it has to be this weather. It's been a very cool spring. We keep going up and down, where we'll go, you know, up into the 70s, and then we'll be back down into the 50s and 60s. And it's going to happen again. We're on the stretch going up, so we've got maybe 4-ish days coming up where we'll be in the 70s, and then it looks like rain comes through and knocks us back into the 50s and 60s. That's the only thing I can say. More experienced beekeepers maybe will chime in with their kind of opinions on what could be happening here, but that's what I'm seeing. So we had to do that split on the white hive, which was kind of unfortunate because, I mean, that's one of our new hives, like the yellow one next to it. Man, they are beautiful, beautiful queens, beautiful brood patterns. The temperament, very gentle, and they are just doing quite well. Now, the yellow one next to them, their one super was empty. Nothing going on. So again, I don't really know what's going on. The only thing I can say is weather. The rest of the hives look good. My California queen, I checked on her and her little nuke. Was expecting to see a supersedure cell in there. Nothing. No supersedure cells. No emergency cells. Saw her. She looks great. She has 1 frame of cap brood in her little 5-frame of nuke. That's from her. End to end. Beautiful. Beautiful pattern. She had another frame with some eggs. She's got some empty space. She's got a couple frames of bees. Put her back in. Put her box back together, leave her alone. She'll be a resource for us if we need to requeen a hive later on down the line. At this point, we did add, I know I've just been going on and on about the lack of nectar. We did add a second super to a few of the girls that have made a little bit of progress on their first super. And that is mostly just anticipation of really hoping that this first week of May, with some warmer temperatures, if the rain holds off for a little while, that we'll get some good production coming in. So we went ahead and gave a couple of hives some extra space. From there, we did the cut down. There's only a purple hive, I think is still the only one that doesn't have a super, I think, at this point. And then obviously the cut down, the queened side of the cut down doesn't have a super, but she's not going to have flyers. So we just probably took her down for the rest of the season. We could let the queenless side go. Maybe we let them raise their queen. Maybe we requeen them in a couple, 2-3 weeks to get them back up to full strength. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm not that far ahead on this. Otherwise, guys, pretty decent day in the bee yard. Didn't take too terribly long, but now we got to move on. We have scouts later tonight, and more chores that we gotta get to here. So I hope everybody's doing great. Hey guys, I really appreciate the subscriptions. If you're liking the content and you haven't subscribed, please help us out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I do really do my best to try to read all the comments and respond as best as I can. So love the comments, keep them coming. Hope everybody's doing well, and we'll be back real soon with another video. Stay tuned. See ya.